Oh, yeah, I know what you're going to talk about. Hello, everybody. So I'm Sue Roberts. I'm doing a podcast on being mentally healthy, which is about we all walk around looking mentally healthy, and there's a whole lot of stuff inside that we may not have told other people and even the people closest to us. And I believe that we need to share our stories to give you permission to be you and to give you permission to even talk about these issues that people are brave enough to come along and talk about. So today, and I'm not being racist, but I've got another Māori woman here with me. So kia ora, Joe.
Kia ora.
So Joe is she's a woman of many crafts, but we're not going to talk about all of her many crafts. She makes pew-pews. What sort of pew-pews do you make? Contemporary pew-pews, if anyone wants a pew-pew. And she's hopefully going to run my tiny day at my rugby club, but I'm going to contact people to find out about that. But anyway, it's beside the point. Okay, Joe, and you would like to speak about domestic violence because you've got some good stories about domestic violence. Talking to me. Ready? So we start from the. Did you grow up in domestic violence?
No.
Okay.
I was born and raised proper.
Okay.
So I was born up in the country in Makarika, it's called, just before Rotorua.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it Frida's? Oh, sorry.
No, she's from Rotorua, I think. Is it?
No. She's too high.
Oh, no.
I need to scrub that
East Coast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So my mum married, like he was our stepdad, but a beautiful man. So we were lucky, I mean, I look around and over the years and then I've seen how some of the stepdads or whatever, haven't been nice to the stepchildren, but we were lucky to have such a wonderful dad. I was the youngest of three. And so beautiful life. And then I became a teenager, I went to college, and as you do. And then, so my mum was quite strict, and there was a social on at Ngata College, and my sister had to take me. I was younger, and I thought, good, this is good for me. I don't know what I'm going to do. It's not to do with protection. It's just that we couldn't go out just on our own. And the band that played there were really good. They were from Tolaga Bay. And I sort of liked one of the guys in the band. I thought, oh, he's hot,
And how old were you?
I was 14 at the time.
14.
I know, so young and, pure.
Yeah, pure. Can't remember that.
And back in the day there, like even at that age, I still wasn't wearing a bra, because I never had my teeth. They weren't big enough. There was nothing there. You had to put socks in there.
Never mind.
Yes, I've been there, done that. And, so anyway, the band had a break and the guy came down. He must have been thinking the same about me. Oh, yes. I'd not kissed anybody, so that's as far as how I thought,
Yeah.
Then we went home, never saw anything of this guy again, and then the band played again another 6 months later. So we went again, and as time went by, I sort of got to know him. We were writing letters back in the day, and then I ended up sort of like hooking up, is what they say.
So how old were you?
I would have been about 16 by then.
So you were legal.
Yeah, but again, naive in those days. So in the days where the old people never ever spoke to us about period and sex, because they just didn't,
Yeah.
So, so we met up at his sister's house, which was the halfway point between Tolaga Bay and where I lived. And I was with this guy for 2 years, and I remained a virgin. So back then it was, again, I was still naive, and I never thought anything about sex.
Yeah.
And then so we got serious with each other, and then I was going to Tolaga Bay. I won't name names, but anyway, Tolaga Bay, and went to his parents' house. We were sleeping together. Still nothing was happening.
Okay.
but then he wasn't coming back for about 2 or 3 days, and he had the hickeys on his neck.
Oh.
So I said, "Oh, what are they?" Honest, this is true story.
Oh.
I didn't know what that was. So then, when I asked the question, the beatings started happening.
Oh,
You know,
no.
so I cried, and I thought, "Far out!" I don't know why I got hiding. And I was only there for the weekend because I was still going to school. Then I'd get a bus back to the coast and see him again the next weekend or maybe the weekend after. So one day, one of my cousins said to me, "Do you think he hit you because you're not giving it to him?" You know, I said, "Giving what?" So when she told me, she said, "Maybe you should try, you know, and he'll stop." And so I listened to her, and I didn't like it. I really didn't.
Oh,
I was so, you know, and then so the beatings got worse, and I actually lost 2 teeth here from being kicked in the head with hobnail boots, you know, back then. And so I ran away, hid away in a drain until the bus came in the afternoon, got on there, and I said to the guy, "Look, I've got no money to pay, but I need to go back to Rotorua, you know." And he said, get in the bus, you know. So I went home, and my parents, they were good people. And, you know, my dad said to me, "Please don't go back." And I said, "No." Well, about 3 or 4 months went by, and he turned up crying and begging me to go back. So I did.
And how old were you? You still 17?
Oh, no, I would have been 17.
17. Okay. Right.
And yeah, I went back, but I found out I was pregnant as well.
Oh,
that's why I went, and I thought, far out. But my mum knew because I said to her, "There's something wrong," and I didn't know, you know. So
and you're having crap sex?
Not often though.
Yeah, I know, but
know, so,
like really,
yeah,
that was a waste of time,
horrible,
wasn't it?
you know, like But anyway, so yeah, just went from bad to worse from then on. So the next time I got beaten up, I left. I wasn't going back, but it was bad because we'd moved to Wellington by then, and I've seen movies and that, and I thought, far out, that was me. You know, I ran away in the middle of the night after getting beaten up really bad, and I hid away in somebody's shed. And, you know, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I hid away in the shed, and I tried not to breathe, and I heard him running past this hedge, and I stayed there till 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, God.
I didn't come out until it was daylight, and by then a taxi cab had come up into this cul-de-sac to pick somebody up. So I raced out and asked him if I could get in this cab, and he took me to my boss's house because I was working as well. And a Pākehā couple in Wellington or Purirua, they took me in, and I was there for quite a while. I stayed with her for 3 months so that I could heal and go back to work. And I never ever went back.
And your baby?
My baby I took back to my mum and dad. They said, "Bring him back here. You know, if you want to carry on working, he's going to be safe here." So, and I stayed with this couple, but he turned up at my job. I didn't know who it was. I got called out to the administration office. And as soon as I walked out, he grabbed my arm and said, "You've got to come with me out now. I'm going to drag you out." So I said, "Let me go and get my bag because I've got money in." So he let me go, and I didn't go back. Shit. So they called the police, and that was the last time I saw him.
Okay.
But, you know, I mean, there was, it was terrible.
Like, so did you go into another similar relationship after that?
No.
You didn't?
No,
okay.
No, that was, you know, like, I loved and respected I loved my mother. She was strict, but my stepfather, I loved him very much, and I felt terrible for doing what I did, you know, and I felt like I'd let him down because he couldn't do anything to fight this guy off if we had any problems at our house. And I think that's what happens myself personally to a lot of people. You know, they're afraid because some of these people the guys will go on your property and they'll hurt your parents. And so I don't know, I could never go back to a relationship like that. It's sad to see other women today going through that and going back and going back and going back, you know, just it's
so that was your only relationship that had domestic violence?
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
So what did that teach you?
To protect myself, number one. So it took a few months, and then I was too scared to leave this lady's house, but by then I'd become a part of their family. They were Pākehā couple. And I worked and saved money, went back home for holidays and gave that all to my parents because I didn't
Oh.
need it, so I wanted to save up and just help them. Although they didn't need it, they had everything there. So then I did self-defense. I wanted to be able to look after myself.
So how old were you? How old were you then?
I did it for 5 years.
Okay.
So it was from the time I was feeling better.
Okay.
In my mind, I thought I've got to do something. Although, at the same time, I'm thinking, I know this guy very well and his brothers. If it doesn't matter how good you are at self-defense, he would have.
Yeah.
But to be able to protect yourself and know you can, it helps.
Yeah. Self-esteem.
Yeah. And I'm glad because I've put my son through it here, and
Yeah.
it's a good thing to do. But also I've raised my children and said to my sons, don't ever, but my 2 boys. I did have another one, but he was the son, my pregnancy, the eldest one, and that's another story.
Yeah.
That
you come back for.
Yeah. And so I've always said to my sons, don't ever touch a woman, no matter how bad it is. If it's really bad, you talk to me and I'll kick their ass.
Yeah. Is that domestic violence?
No, that's just looking after your sons. So they don't go to jail and become abusive.
Yeah, I know. That's bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got to tell people that.
No, it's I don't know. What's the cure for it? How do you make females listen and just say to them, don't go back there, you can move forward and...
It's not even that. I think it's before that, and I think it is to do predominantly with females. I think we need to be educating females really down to earth about relationships, because a lot of people, you were lucky that you came from a good background, but there's lots of people that don't come from a good background.
I was threatened by his brother, that if I reported this to the police and that he'd do a better job on me than my brother.
Great, it's fantastic.
So it was really, really scary. I was on tenterhooks all the time.
Yeah.
But when I went back to my parents, nobody came near their place. They were good people.
Yeah.
And where I come from, even though it wasn't too far away, and we're all Ngāti Porou, those people don't muck around either. So, but I'm just grateful that I'm still here today.
Yeah.
I am, and I just.
And you're a strong
hope and
woman.
pray for women today to maybe have a look at themselves and think, well, is this the sort of life I want for the rest of my life?
I think it's even before that. I think girls need to know before they get to that stage about self-esteem, about what other people are like. Like, the domestic violence situation where he says, what are you wearing? Where's my food? How come you're 2 minutes late? Blah, blah, blah. They need to be aware of that, but probably way back. And self-esteem, and probably even self-defense.
But, and the answer to that, Sue, is because that's a part of the thing, the reason why I went back, but I wasn't going back too many times. I did it about probably a couple of times or so, and that was it, is because this is your first love. You've not had sex before.
Yes.
And then I started looking at him thinking, far out, I respect this guy. He had me in his life for 4 years. We slept together and he never once forced me. So for that reason, I admired and respected him for being like that towards me, right? And then when I did sort of finally say, okay, I'd like to try it, he was happy with that, and I hated it, but
therein lies the issue.
It's a
No.
bind,
No. It's way before that. So you didn't know anything about sex. No one taught you about sex. No one taught you about your body. No one talked to you about menstruation.
That's right.
No one talked to you about where your clitoris is. Hello, does everyone know where their clitoris is?
Well,
go and look it up.
We didn't even know what that was.
I know. So we need to go back further than that. We need to know about ourselves.
See, it's all right to do that now, but back in the day, because I'm 68, so back then our people never spoke about it. They never spoke about it, but we can today.
It's still. I think the stats are probably still quite high though on that. But anyway, on that note, we're going to finish.
Yes.
And I'm going to get you back, and I'm going to press this. I think I've pressed the wrong thing, actually.
No, you're right. You're right. Well, thank you.
No, I think it is. I think it's way back early. I think it's